Screencast 33, our first encounter with precision designs. The last time I created this R design, and it went to a web service and it pulled these colors. And you remember I added row numbers, right? There they are. And how I did that was I created a column called row number, and I set the expression to this special method called row number, and I gave it nothing. And the reason I gave it nothing was it was asking me, if you see IntelliSense, for a scope, just a string. And I told you there was a problem in that, I was getting the row numbers, but once I turned on grouping, as you can see, I started grouping by the titles, actually the first letter of the titles. You can see that the row numbers don't reset on each group, and that's really what I wanted. I wanted 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2. Now intuitively we can look here, and especially if you're someone who's familiar with SSRS, you might think, well, I know I have to type in a string here, which is the scope, and looking at the grouping, it's pretty obvious that this title node has a name called title, so maybe row number here is expecting title. Let's go ahead and try that and see what happens. Right? And this is what you'd expect to do. This should work. But it doesn't. Let me read for you the error. The value expression for the text box 11, has a scope parameter that is not valid for an aggregate function. The scope parameter must be set to a string constant that is equal to either the name of the containing group, the name of a containing data region, or the name of a data set. And this is a very strange error. Right? Very strange error. What string should I pick here? Let me go back to nothing for a second so that I don't get any more errors. And let's preview to make sure things are okay in the report. Okay. So the dilemma here is I need to type in something. I don't know what to type in. I see something that seems reasonable. This name, title, okay. And that, if I have some experience with SSRS, it seems like a very rational thing to do. What's going on here is, the string you have to type in is not visible in the auto design. And this is a case where you have to be familiar with precision designs and their relationship to auto designs. Now, I told you before that an auto design, when it's deployed, gets converted to RDL. Okay? An auto design is a very simple report model that gets converted to RDL. A precision design is essentially embedded RDL. Right? Now, in order to see how to solve this problem, we're going to have to first just take a look at the precision design. Okay? And this will further on in the screencast, you'll understand that the only way I can solve this problem is to use a precision design. And this is something you'll occasionally encounter where you have a design that's complicated enough, and it may not seem why it's complicated, but you'll have to switch to a precision design. And this is just one very simple case. So how do we create a precision design? I could just right-click here and add a precision design, and I could rebuild that entire report. That would take quite a while. Instead, what you want to do is create a simple auto design and make sure it runs and previews. Then right-click, create precision design from that, and you can see an equivalent precision design is created. Okay? So let me save everything and close some of these windows here. Okay. And if I preview the precision design, it looks exactly like the auto design. That's, this is exactly the RDL we would generate. Let's go edit the precision design. Just to prove to you I have real good control, I'm going to move the these two top text boxes sort of below and to the right here, or upper here. There we go. And I'll change the color to red. Okay? So let's preview. Now what happened there? I clicked on preview just like I'm always used to. I didn't see an update. It's very simple. There's a slight difference in R design and precision design. And that difference is when you make a change in R design, and you can see the star right there that indicates this thing has changed, in order to get the preview update, you're going to have to save the design, the precision design. So that's one difference. There you see. Now I've changed it. Okay, that's the first difference. Now let's take a look at the design here and try to understand what's going on. So you can see how the groups are built up here. Here's the detail rows, and then there are these other kind of groups, right? What we want to do is just right-click here and take a look at the click at Edit Group, right? Oops, not there. My mistake. I click here, the one above it, Edit Group, and you'll notice that the group here has title_0, which is interesting. We never saw that in the auto design. And the reason the 0 appears is as part of the code that generates the RDL from the auto design. We disambiguate these nodes by adding numbers, right? That's very reasonable. This is actually the scope that row number function is looking for. But you never saw it in the auto design, so how could you have ever typed it in? I'm going to prove to you that's what it's expecting in a second. But first, let's fix the precision design so that it works, okay? So my claim is that title 0 is really what it's expecting. So I'll go ahead and just copy that. And let's preview the report. And we want to make these go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, right? Let's go back to the design, and I'm going to go to row number, and I can right-click on the row number field and hit expression, and I'm just going to paste in title 0. Okay, now let me go ahead and save, and then preview. I don't need to build because I didn't change any data method code. Look what happened. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. So, I fixed that grouping, and now you know how to do grouping and row numbers with grouping. Let's go back to the precision design. By the way, notice when that is red here, I'm looking at the precision design. That way you can, it's clear in this video how to disambiguate what you're seeing. So if you see red, it's the precision. Let's go back to the auto design. There's no red there. So let's see if we can fix the problem. Let's see if my theory is correct. I'll go to the auto design, and nowhere in here do you see this thing called title_0. You can keep looking all you want, and you just will not see that, right? I'm clicking on all these nodes, and I can't see it. And yet, if I click here and type in title 0, watch what happens. Let's go back to preview. And you can see 1, 2, and 1, 2. And this is clearly, see, no red, so it is the auto design. This is fixed. It actually works, right? But it's very fragile, right? Because you cannot be guaranteed in this auto design that this title will just receive, a number of 0. What if, you'd added or removed groupings, it might get a different number. There's no guarantee you're going to get that. So when you're faced with this situation, I'm afraid you're going to have to go to a precision design. And that's really the lesson for the screencast, is to introduce you to how precision design was created from an auto design. And I gave you a little bit of insight into, how RDL is generated from an auto design. And in this case, as a consequence of that generation and what we wanted to achieve, we actually had to switch to a precision design to get what we want. And another thing that I should point out here, this is often a good way of trying to understand what to do in auto design. Like you don't know what to type in the expression. You convert to precision design, play around with it, and that may help you in the auto design, right? And the other benefit is you can call in someone who actually is very familiar with SSRS, because this UI, when you say edit using designer, is the normal SSRS UI for editing a report in Visual Studio. Okay? So that's what this is really good for. In future screencasts, I will cover there's a lot of auto design left to do, but we'll also do some precision design work. So that's it for now. I'll see you next time.